This is the current state of my mental health. Looks peaceful. And this is the current list of things I own with wheels. I like this list. This list doesn't necessarily cause that, but I do know this list causes this. The list of their problems.
Oh dear.
And unfortunately, as of late, I've started to look at that list more like this. Oh my God, that's you! That's what she said.
Don't you dare.
And I think the first step is to change how I look at those lists.
Things are about to change around here.
I don't have to look at it as a cumulative list. That's got part of it, that has part of it, this has part of it, and that has part of it. After that, you just give them a level of importance and you start tackling them one by one. Starting with that one. 1990 Camry Posted. I don't need it. Why keep it?
I ain't got no time for this. Bye, Felicia.
Did he just say bye, Felicia?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Bye, Felicia.
Jess.
Felicia?
No, you're Felicia.
It's okay.
Now that I've gotten rid of the car I don't need, I have to prioritize the jobs I don't want to do. Because if I'm being honest, I have my Plymouth Cricket that I'm restoring that I'm really excited about getting on the road for the first time in my entire life, even though I've owned one of those cars for 8 or 9 years. But this is a job I have to do, and it'll make me feel better doing the jobs I want to do when I don't have this resting over my head. So really with a job like this, because I am just trying to get this done, I'm not gonna go into detail as to why the 4.7 liter V8 is the most interesting engine in the world, even though I did convert this truck to a high output motor. And I'm not gonna tell you why the 545 RFE is a piece of garbage. I'm just gonna pull the trans, put the new one in, and we'll go into a deep dive on something more interesting.
A few moments later.
It's currently 6 o'clock. I dropped the transmission off the transmission jack. I broke the transmission jack. I damaged the concrete. The tail shaft of my transfer case seems okay, but this is pushing my mental fortitude. This is... Okay, it's the next day and we're back at my shop. I may have been there until 1 a.m. finishing that job because everything that could have gotten in my way and or broken and or been annoying happened. I now have a couple of jobs left to do here and then I will stop talking about the Dodge Dakota. Not that I'm holding any resentment for how long it took to do the transmission, but I am quite happy that the instructions for the ball joint include a hammer. Because that feels a little therapeutic. I realize it may not be entirely clear why I have to fix a 20-year-old pickup truck, but this is actually a truck my fiance uses for her business and it makes her and therefore I money. And it also moves my projects around, which I like to have. And once I do this final bushing, I am done with the Dakota. Now that I have sold a car I didn't need, fixed a truck I didn't want to work on, I have one more job I don't want to do on a car I don't care about before I can do a job I don't want to do on a car I do care about. So let's go to a third location.
I'm going on an adventure!
Next up on the list is this, my fiance's 2000 and... Mitsubishi Outlander. This is the conversation we've had on it.
Hey babe, could you put a hitch on my car?
For you, anything.
Ooh, get over here, big boy.
At least that's how I remember it going. Regardless of who was wearing what, this is the hitch I found to put on the Outlander a couple months back at our local pick and pull. So let's get it installed in the car. Do you know that classic saying, hitches get bitches? Yeah, neither do I. Which is why the both of us were okay with this being a used hitch from Pick and Pull. Nobody cares. Huh. The upright on this hitch exists exactly where the muffler goes, which means this isn't gonna fit on this car without different parts. We're not done with the car though, so let's do something else. I'm worried if I tell you this that I'm gonna get tariffed, but I'm Canadian. And I need to swap my winter tires over for summer tires because it's spring, but just don't tell anybody. One maple syrup, one hockey stick. Poutine is a national treasure. Poutine is also health food. Poutine is a national treasure. Done. done. Yeah. Fork. Originally, I was going to demonstrate why this car needs to be worked on, but it won't start. I think the battery's toast. I've had it on a charger for a week, but it still didn't take over at all. So this car now has two jobs, the clutch and the battery. A couple of days ago, the clutch stopped disengaging on this car. So it's got 100% drive all of the time. You can't disengage it unless you put it in neutral, which makes the car pretty much unusable. And that meant I had to stop driving it, even though I really, really enjoy it. I have it mostly undone, but I don't actually know what I'm doing, so it might fall out or come out, one of the two. Okay, diddle-diddle-doo, diddle-diddle-doo, diddle-diddle-diddle-doo.
Okay, es geht wieder los. Mein Schrank ist so klein und mein Arsch ist so groß.
Insert German banger that I don't know, but think is a bop.
Bin ich heute wie ein Punk oder doch nur wie die Göre von nebenan?
Now will you come out? Oh no. What is in your way? Is there something I'm missing? Oh, it looks like there's something I'm missing. On today's episode of probably not the way to do this, but certainly one of the ways you can do this, transmission removal of a 1992 Volkswagen Cabriolet. Now that I've done something somewhere, I'm heading somewhere else to do something else. So because in 2008, just after the financial crisis, I was being a stupid little idiot going to middle school instead of buying my first couple houses, I don't currently have a real estate portfolio that includes a house with an attached garage. So all of my tools and project cars live half an hour away from me. And that's fine unless one of my cars, the black Cabriolet, dies where I live. So that's what we're doing today, is going to put my tools back. I forgot that was on my body. A battery for a 92 Volkswagen Cabriolet. I tried answering yesterday, what's the point? And I kind of got distracted because I was not enjoying the job I was doing at all. But there is a point to this. As much as I may tell all of my things, stop breaking down, they don't always listen. And while it might shock you to believe, I'm not the most organized person in the world, nor am I always consistently motivated. So it's possible that I find myself in the mood at the beginning of the video almost annually. And I think it stems from a fairly simple problem of, I have too many things. Sure, I can break down each vehicle by their individual list, but at some point I have to ask myself, why is that one even here? If you watched my channel before, you'll recognize this as my manual swapped Grand Marquis. I had a lot of fun with it, but I blew it up 3 years ago. It hasn't had a running engine since, and I haven't really touched it. Oh my God. This was my dad's old car. I've had it in the family for 15, 18 years now. It's been around for a while. This project was to see through what I thought as a kid a Panther could be, but I've done it now. Holding on to it might be more of a weight to me, as you might have with a car you're holding on to, then it truly is a benefit. I love my Delica, and it gives me a near new car smile every single time I drive it. Why does my favorite adventure vehicle that's been with me through 4 states and 4 provinces over 4 years share both a motivation and a financial budget with a car that I'm just kind of keeping around? I'm gonna work harder at maintaining the things that I keep around for function and plan an upcoming video series where I get this running, ready for sale, and move it on to the next owner. And while it may seem sad to close a chapter on a car that's been part of my life for so long, the persistence I had to keep that car kind of stems from a bigger issue. You know, you watch YouTubers and they buy a new car every week, and you watch Top Gear and they drive a new car for every challenge. You think to yourself, the way to enjoy cars is variety and have a little bit of everything. But that's not how it works when you have a full-time job. Have 1 or 2 projects that you really enjoy and make them better than having 9 that you kind of think you like. Because I've learned about myself, I really enjoy cars more like this. That seems fixed. So there we go. I fixed the car that makes me happy, I've finished on the truck that makes me money, and I've done a bunch of the small jobs that kept me stressed. So now I don't have to worry about any new cars, and I can use the ones I've just put the work into. Now I can work on the Cricket and the Mercury without feeling guilty. It's a great day overall. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I don't see anything going wrong.
1 week later.
The replacement motor that I put in this truck 1,500 kilometers ago just blew its head gasket. So, guess who's going on Marketplace to replace the whole damn thing? 1 more car. Just 1 more car.